going to start with the Eagles, who had 4 Simms guys. They had your number 1 guy in the draft, Jalen Carter, edge, gone. Your defensive tackle, gone.
Number 1 player, period.
Number 1 player, gone. Edge number 3 was Nolan Smith. They took him. Sidney Brown, your number 2 safety out of Illinois. They took him. And Keely Ringo got good value on him, your number 5 corner that I see a lot of places out there like, ooh, that's a sneaky good pick for the Eagles. He was your number 5 corner. And so let's get into it. Tier 1, and I will give it away.
Yes, do.
You only have one team in Tier 1 of good drafts in the 2023 season.
Well, it's like there's a lot of teams that had good drafts, but we got to make one the king of the draft. And, like, the Eagles won the draft, in my opinion. So I'm going to put them in their own tier. I am. I know it's not a for sure thing, and we got to see how it all works here and all of that, but – like you said, number 1 player in the draft. Nolan Smith, definitely a top 15 player in the draft for me on the big board, whatever. Really out of the pass rushers, maybe the most second naturally gifted pass rusher behind Tyree Wilson, right? So, I mean, to get him at pick 30, that's insane. There was only one guy in the draft that had Von Miller-esque type pass rush moves off the edge. That was him. Then Tyler Steen, the guard tackle combo from Alabama. I think ultimately he's going to be a guard in the NFL. But if there was like one spot on their team you looked at to go, ooh, maybe they could just use somebody there in case an injury or help depth or whatever else, right? So they got that. Then they get my favorite strong safety nickel type and Sidney Brown. And that's when I decided to tweet out to the public, like, the Eagles, stop. This is illegal. This is illegal team building.
And people were like, he's just trying to make up for all the hate that he's thrown on the Eagles.
I know. It's so funny with the Eagles fans. I get so many Eagles fans that are like, yeah, you love us, man. You give us respect. And then they get the exact opposite just because of the Jalen Hurts thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, wait, did you ever hear anything else I say about the team? I only talk negatively about Jalen Hurts. And it's really, I'm just trying to give a little food for a thought. But then, like you said, too, to get Keely Ringo, I mean, one of the bigger corners in the draft who ran 4.39, to get him at the start of the 4th round, I mean, just holy shit, Philadelphia. That's all I could say.
I think it was pretty certain that they had the best roster last year in football, and they have just added perhaps the best draft class to that best roster.
I just saw something on TV that said the 49ers are the favorite in the NFC.
All right, we'll get to that.
And I was like, what?
Pin that thought.
Okay, I'll pin
that thought because we got to
zip it up.
We got to give Elliot Wilkinson his due. He said it was the Eagles' best draft.
Yes.
He goes, it's the obvious answer, and I understand that there are some off-the-field stuff with a few of them, but to add those kind of players to already the best roster I've seen since I've been watching, and he's been watching since 2014, is a joke. Just put the Eagles in the Super Bowl because it's over. He mentioned the character issue.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Carter, we all know what happened off the field with him. But you made a point in talking to Dan Patrick today, and I heard that. You may have made it with Mike Florio earlier, that Jalen Carter perhaps went to the perfect spot for that.
We talked about how, like, the Seahawks at 6 or 5, right? We were like, that would be a good spot for them. They know how to deal with personalities and those kind of guys, right? I'm disappointed I didn't say this team because this team really is set up the best. Your buddies are there. Right? You got Jordan Davis, who you went to school with, and he's already been in Philly. He could show you the ropes. The quarterback of the Bulldogs defense, Nakobe Dean, is going to be the new starting middle linebacker there, in his second year. So, okay, wait, here's another great leader of the Georgia defense here to help Jalen Carter steer him in the right direction. Let alone he's got 2 guys in the same class with him that are coming, and Keely Ringo and Nolan Smith. So he's got that. And then you got a guy like Fletcher Cox on the inside who's an ex-SEC badass motherfucking D tackle, right? Who can show you the ropes. He's been to the Hall of Fame, show you how to work, how to prepare, do all that. So from that standpoint, it is the perfect setup for a guy like Jalen Carter. And he's not going to have the pressure of like, hey, you have to come in here and take over right away. Yeah. They're literally going to be like, you're 3rd on the depth chart. He's like, what? I've never been 3rd on any depth chart. They're like, well, you're 3rd here. Yeah, you got to earn your way.
Settle in. Let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
Because I think there's some chatter out there that other GMs are not real happy with all the praise that the Eagles are getting here. And so let me be devil's advocate
please do.
and speak
like
for
it.
them.
Right.
Because it wasn't like they didn't know about Jalen Carter and see the tape. It wasn't like they didn't know about Nolan Smith and see the tape and the good things. There were reasons they passed on him.
They couldn't risk it.
Is that what it was, you think?
I think they couldn't risk it.
Or
the
they just
Eagles
didn't think they were as good as we think they are.
No, I think they do. You know me, Ahmed. I talk to a lot of people Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith are in everybody's top 15. I didn't know anybody that didn't have Jalen Carter as the top player in the draft. I didn't know anybody.
They just
not one guy.
risk it. Teams couldn't risk
I think it just became a little bit. Right. The potential problem in a draft like we talked about last Monday where there's not a lot of high-end players, and some teams I think just went, we're going to go for the for sure high floor guaranteed type of thing, right? And that's between, the injuries and Jalen Carter off the field. So, but, one, still to pull it off, they are able to pull it off because he's already put the team in a spot that it allows them to go, whoa, wait, we don't have to take like a for sure type of thing. We can kind of take a big cut here and try to, hit a home run to right center and go 500 feet over the fence, right?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how they looked at it. So you're right. I mean, again, we all got to see how it plays out. But these are more than just like, these aren't like devastating injuries or, and really, Jalen Carter's the only guy we're talking about here.
Yeah.
I think Nolan Smith was a little bit of
size,
injury, right? And then got caught in the shuffle of like, it just wasn't the right year for the teams for him in the middle, 15, 18, like there were teams that would look at him and go, oh, he's our cup of tea.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of all that. So I'm going to continue to praise Howie Roseman, but
sure.
But I understand the people pushing back a little bit.
Swinging for the fences, but that also means you could strike out.
Well,
so maybe this will be a strikeout on a couple of players.
Right.
Pete notes, Giants fan Pete, I'm old enough to remember the last time the Eagles had a dream team. And so that is the Giants.
Yeah, but that dream team didn't just come off the Super Bowl and like was already on a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. That's all right. Yeah, Vince Young ain't going to be here to save you. That like I said on Twitter, I think on Friday, I wrote, they have the 90s Eagles defense right now, which my dad would tell you is the best defense he ever played against in his life. That late 80s, early 90s Eagles. And they have the 92 Cowboys offense. Like, it's kind of a good team. Just the 90s defense, the 92 Cowboys. That's it. Just those two teams right there.
Well, if that's the case, then they will be hands down the favorite to get to the Super Bowl once again. BetMGM is here for that. And the Eagles are the favorite right now.
They are the favorites.
But the 49ers are not far behind.
Right.
So
I saw a flipped one of this on another sports book on TV.
Check back tomorrow because who knows. Eagles are plus 300. 49ers are plus 350, so they are very close.
Right.
Cowboys, the third choice at plus 650. And then my Detroit Lions, at plus 850.
You're not under the radar anymore there, Ahmed.
I don't like
you
that.
guys are all out there. Yep.
I don't like that
The
at all.
Lions, your own dream team out there. I think the 49ers are awesome. We know that. I guess I would probably have the Eagles as even a little bit more of a favorite than the 49ers at this point, but not by much. And
it just goes to show you the 49ers quarterback situation is so up in the air right now.
Exactly.
And
And
I guess Vegas doesn't care.
They don't even care. Well, yeah, because the 49ers have showed us like quarterback doesn't matter. They pretty much shown they can win and do it a lot of different ways. But I think the biggest thing about this graphic here of what we got from BetMGM and the NFC odds is just that it clearly there's two teams and then there's a fall off. I mean, their odds are twice as good as the Cowboys, who's the third team on the list. And then even the Cowboys are significantly up on the line. That's where it's a crazy thing right now. I said this today on Florio. The AFC is as good as we've ever seen it. It's as good as the 1970s. And, and then you got in the NFC and you go, okay, Eagles, Niners, and, okay, Cowboys, we know that, but who else is going to be there? We think your Lions are going to be there, but I'd like to see it. I think the Seahawks are going to be there, but I'd like to see a little bit more. So there's it's clearly a gap in the NFC.
Maybe some teams will surprise us in Tier 2. But first, we want to say the action never stops at BetMGM. Sign up now using the bonus code SIMS. Your first wager risk-free up to $1,000.
So say you bet $100 on Ahmed's Lions to win the NFC. If you win, you get $850, but if you lose, you still get $100 worth of free bets.
Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter the bonus code SIMS to make your first wager risk-free up to $1,000. I think Lions fans understand. You just don't want to get your hopes up, right? You'd just rather go in with low expectations.
You've been burned for a lot of years, but I think this is the year. Here we go.
Okay.
I think this is the year
I think
where
it is too.
You guys are legitimately real.
Okay.
And you have real culture and things going in a positive direction.
That's too much now. That's too much. Now I'm getting uncomfortable again.
Yo, 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 thanks for watching, homies. It's the off season, but you know there's no off season for us here at Unbuttoned. Me, Ahmed Fareed, we're going to hit all the stories. So hit subscribe for us, okay? We got a ton coming up. My draft prospect rankings, my Simms top 40 quarterback countdown, and videos of me and NFL QBs playing catch and talking about their development and mechanics. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. See you soon.